my community, the deaf community, I would learn some other things. And sometimes, remember when I first started to go to school, I wouldn't understand because they were signing the proper sign language, and I was used to homemade sign, and I wanted to write to them, and then sometimes we would write, and then also I would then understand. Some of the misconceptions that the hearing have regarding the deaf community is that they assume that sign language has different languages within it. They assume that there's sign Zulu, sign Xhosa, but that's not true. Sign language is a standalone language. What I want to do is that I want people to be more acceptant, and I want to make my family proud as well. I want to show also the world that deaf people can also do. Deaf people are capable. They just need you guys to open the doors and opportunities.
Today, we have a special guest, Celimpilo Thabethe, a 37-year-old software developer and deaf activist from Gauteng. Celimpilo is passionate about promoting inclusion and accessibility for the deaf community in South Africa. He has been involved in various initiatives, including tech programs with RIA, policy discussions on sign language and standardization, and advocacy for financial and data access. He is also a sports enthusiast and has participated in deaf community sports activities. Join us as we delve into Celimpilo's life, challenges, and achievements, and explore the importance of inclusion and accessibility for the deaf community. Celimpilo, we are so glad to have you on the show. Can you just talk to us about your journey and how you have managed to navigate the world as a deaf person?
I grew up on a hearing family. I'm the only person that is deaf in my family. And yes, as the deaf community, we are the minority, and I always felt alone. And I remember the first time I went to school, I was so confused because I didn't know what was all of this hand movements. And then through time and me being in school, and then I realized that, oh my God, I'm not alone. There are other people that are like me. We are equal. So I felt a sense of home. And also I learned in school, and also when I went back to my family, it was a challenge because there was also a miscommunication because my family is hearing. Always if I ask them for something, they verbalize what they're saying and I can't hear. So that's why I thought it's better for me that I remain in school and not come home during the holidays, because I felt that I was benefiting more by being in school than being with my family. So my life as a deaf person has been very challenging, but with education and everything, I managed to achieve my goals, and I'm proud of being a deaf person. And also my family does not, I don't hate my family because I'm deaf. They love me, I love them. But most of the time I felt more at home in school than I would at home. But I know that my family loves me and everything, because before they couldn't sign, but gradually they also understood that this is our child. They gave me all the support that they could do.
So what are some common misconceptions that hearing people have about the deaf people, or rather the deaf community?
So some of the misconceptions that the hearing have regarding the deaf community is that they assume that sign language has different languages within it. They assume that there's sign Zulu, sign Xhosa, but that's not true. Sign language is a standalone language. It just depends how you voice or what you write, in what language you write. But on sign language, it's like that. We learn sign language, but when we write, we write in English in school.
Can you talk to us about how technology has helped you to be able to communicate, or rather connect with others especially within and without your community?
My family, it was very difficult for us to communicate. For an example, because I am deaf and my family can't sign. For an example, we used like our made-up signs. You know, they would use like your homemade signs. Sometimes they would point at stuff, but a proper South African sign language, they were unable to sign. So from my community, the deaf community, I would learn some other things. And sometimes, remember when I first started to go to school, I wouldn't understand because they were signing the proper sign language. And I was used to homemade sign and I wanted to write to them. And then sometimes we would write. And then also I would then understand. And also to add also on that, now with sign language, and people want to learn sign language. For an example, like if maybe you want to teach sign language or the deaf community, when you meet with the deaf community, we know that there's not a lot of people that want to learn sign language or that can sign. But also if you read and then you can relay, interpret and see. Also maybe you can read with the phone and type out. But now with the technology that we are fostering with RIA, we have an application. That application will help, and it does help me a lot. When I meet a hearing person and I don't know maybe what they are saying or what they are spelling, we can use that in order to voice it over and then we can communicate.
So I would love to learn now more about your qualifications and obviously your experience. Obviously, I'm aware that you are currently working with RIA. Share with us some of your highlights.
I went to school and then afterwards I studied maths and science as well. But I always had a goal to achieve, to say I wanted to be an administrator or just open my own business and learn from other people. But it was very difficult for me to matriculate. So I with my age and everything, and then I couldn't finish my matric. So as a deaf person, and I thought, okay, I would go to another organization, EDEF, so that I can get a proper qualification. But my aim was that I wanted to study information and technology. I wanted to do that because I felt that it was the answer. And then adding on to that, I learned how to code. And I was very passionate. I wanted to develop my coding skills. And then I decided to go to future coding. And I learned the database, and I was like, okay, now I'm doing, as a deaf person, I'm achieving this thing that only the hearing people only had access to. So I studied at future coding. That's where I got my information and technologies qualification.
So as a guy who comes from Ekasi, how do you then approach girls who can hear and that you possibly have a crush on? Yeah.
Wow, okay. I was never ready for that one. So for me, as a deaf person, when I'm very attracted to a hearing person, because we see girls, we do understand that, you see, hearing people, it is very difficult for them to date a deaf person. And sometimes the most challenging issue is the communication. But I will be persistent because I know that as a guy, you know, you must hunt. So now I use sign language to say, I will teach you sign language. I try to write to them, and then I use my sign language in order to get them to be interested in me. So, but deaf and hearing people can have a solid relationship, but we just prefer to date each other. But I don't know in future. But for now, I'm not yet married. But my goal is to get married one day. But I want to have achieved my goals first and build a proper lifestyle plan and develop, and therefore I can get married. Because for now, I'm still hustling. I do have a steady somebody, but I'm still building on that.
So having said that, have you tried to date outside of your cycle?
Yo. It didn't take that long. I think it was 2 months. After that, it was done.
So can you share some of the challenges that you face when you are socializing with hearing people in their communities?
The challenge that I always had is that hearing people, sometimes they're very ignorant, you know, regarding how to accommodate us. And now, as a deaf person, the biggest challenge for me was that for a hearing person, they're always on the phone. And you always have that insecurity to say, what are they talking about? Who are they talking to? Are they really talking to the person that they were talking to? So it's just those insecurities that play a big role.
So I'm aware that you are a sport enthusiast. Can you tell us more about your involvement in sports?
The sports that I'm passionate about is tennis. I love tennis so much. That is what I love. Out of all of the sports that I've participated in, it's tennis and it's rugby, and the third one is soccer. That's all.
So how important is inclusion and in other activities as well?
The inclusion because deaf people they're very skilled as well, and also I am skilled. It shouldn't be that because you are disabled you need to be there. You also need to bring on the skills as well. You can't just say because I'm deaf. You need the skills. So if you are passionate about any sport and you want to be involved, your disability shouldn't be a barrier, but you cannot use your disability just to get in there if you can't perform.
So can you tell us about your experience when you were participating in the policy discussions?
The challenge that we have with sign language is that in KZN, when you go to that region, they're using their own dialects. And then when you come to places like Gauteng, they use their own dialects. And now when we have a national get-togethers, sometimes there are misunderstandings that take place. So what I wanted to do was that I wanted us to try and have one sign that can be used in the whole of South Africa. We shouldn't always focus on dialects. So that's what we wanted, inclusion. So before we had a lot of challenges because each and every province had its own dialect. So now people in Limpopo, they sound different from people in Gauteng. So that was the whole discussion that we're having.
So like many of us, one day you would like to have a car and drive, you would like to own a home. I'm just curious in finding out, how easy is it to access a bank loan so that you are able to get whatever that you need?
The banks, it's not that easy to do that because when you know that financial literacy is a problem, not only in the deaf community, but also in the hearing community. We don't have financial literacy. But also when you go to the bank, you're asking for a loan, maybe for my girlfriend or whatever, that I need to do something or whatever, maybe I need to a bond to mortgage my house or whatever. It is not that easy because we don't know the options, we don't know the best options, and also it's also a barrier because when you get there is no access of communication. Now you spend the whole day and now you don't know what they are saying, they're using jargon that you don't know, and you must just keep on writing back and forth. So I think that is a bit challenging. That's why a lot of us, we really don't go get loans and stuff like that because we don't understand it. And if I need a loan, it's very difficult for me to know which one is best for me, because I don't have that. I don't know, maybe for 2 months, for 3 months, it's a bit of a challenge. That's a bit of a challenge. But many deaf people, it's not that easy for them to get mortgages and whatever. Maybe in future, when we get financial literacy, then we can know the best option. But for now, it's hard. But I know that it's not that we are excluded. It's just that we are not really passionate about it because we don't know about it. And we do want independence. We do also want to own our homes and cars.
How do you then think bank can change that approach?
The banks, yes, it is a challenge with the communication, and sometimes it depends because remember the banks are entities. They focus. They are profit driven. So we have to, if you want and sometimes the terminology that they use, you as a deaf person, is the first time you see that word there, and now you are even ashamed to say, hey, I don't understand what this word means, because now they're gonna think deaf people are stupid. So yeah, just financial literacy is very important. The banks must do that.
Are there any successful people that you guys look up to in your community as role models, or you constantly find yourself having to look outside of your community for those role models?
Before, my role models were hearing people, because we don't have self-identity. You don't see hearing people achieve a lot of things. It's always hearing people. It's always hearing people. So yes, even though we try as the deaf people, but we never get there. We never get to see ourselves in high places. For example, like, who's the famous deaf person that you know? Who's the famous business owner that you know? Deaf people are so much excluded into that. Yes, we strive to be equal to the hearing person, but the system is just against us. We also want to achieve our goals. We also want the other deaf children that grow up to look up to us. So so we are our own role models, I can say.
But I'm aware that there is Miss Deaf and Mr. Deaf. Are they not your role models?
Yes, but look at me. It depends. If they were into the fashion and model industry, yes, but me, I'm in the tech space.
Can you just paint us a picture in terms of how your typical day looks like at work?
Usually my morning starts very early in the morning, because I like to be punctual at work. So when I get to work, I focus on work. Luckily for me, I don't have any distractions. And I work very well with my team as well. We do our work that we are supposed to do for the day. And when I'm done, I'm so tired. And when I get home, it also depends if it's my turn for cooking, because I also help to cook with the household. And yeah, and also I'm a father as well. I have to also do my fatherly duties. So yeah, during the week, it's hectic for me.
So as a guy who has dreams and aspirations, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
In 5 years' time, what I want to do is that I want to benefit as much as experience as I have, and I want also to learn from the hearing, because I feel like we can share a lot. Maybe I can be in a managerial position. I don't know, but depending on my experience. But in 6 years' times, I want to manage hearing people. Imagine a deaf person managing hearing people.
So as we wrap up these beautiful conversations, what would you like to say to our audiences?
What I want to do is that I want people to be more acceptant, and I want to make my family proud as well. I want to show also the world that deaf people can also do. Deaf people are capable. They just need you guys to open the doors and opportunities. I want to also be a consultant maybe in the future. And I want the other deaf people to see that deaf people can do anything.
So whether you're white, you're Chinese, you are brown, you are black, you can hear, you are deaf. Uthando lunye. Until next time, keep building, keep grinding, and keep shining.